God says here, he says, God is an adoptive father. He says, you were out there in the elements about to die. You didn't have anything going for you. You're going to be left there with nothing, helpless. And God says, I came. I saw you. I had compassion on you. I picked you up into my arms and I said, live. And I said, you live. And I breathed life into you and I cared for you. And I brought you into my family. I adopted you into my home. And I cared for you as my own child. But you trusted in your beauty. And you played the whore because of your renown. And lavished your whorings on any passerby. Your beauty became his.
Please, I turn to these idols willingly, freely. This idolatry is killing me so easily. I turn to logical fallacies. Self-law is in me. Adam, is that you? All come running. Again, I'm running to the God that's passionately gunning. Like banks running to bail out funding. I'm running to end the shame pillaging. Self is the answer that I seek, and nothing can stop me. I'm powerful, look at me, behold me. Self-afflicted leprosy, ever since infancy. The law of self has been running me, marching like an infantry, clueless like infertility. Trapped and my savior won't save me, changing into something, morphing. I'm painfully stained, but wait, there's rain in the person he stands. Fire burns bright in this man, I can see his eyes, his appearance as a lamb. Fourth man in the fire, and his freedom calls. I turn back and I fall, my father runs, and I run too. Love embraced, shame embarrassed, and I'm kissed, forgiven and missed, for having gone amiss, crossing a miss. Blood fighting fists, nails in his wrists, glory and it's his. Praise pours from my lips, worship from my chest. Tears fill my eyes, I've been blessed. Restored, regained, redeemed heart, muscle born again. Gospel good news, I prayerfully profuse and kneel down at his shoes. My God, my beginning, my end, my hope, my salvation, my whole, my only good, in whom alone I stand, in whom alone I hope, in whom alone I fear. Love, worship and trust in, obey and serve with all of my heart, soul and strength. My God and my all, my God and my all. My God, my beginning, my end, my hope, my salvation, my hope, my only good, in whom alone I stand, for whom alone I hope, in whom alone I fear. Love, worship, trust and obey and serve with all of my heart, soul and strength. My God and my all, my God and my all.
I am the art of war, look at my battle scars. I said what's up to God, he said there's nothing more. I shot my ego down, replacing him as Lord. I used to get around, just like the girl next door. Call me the Simon Cowell of Phoenix, Arizona. Looking for an idol to sit down on the throne, singing the same old song, come on Camellia. Until I found the one, as if I'm Morpheus. What have I become, how did I fall in love? With the psychotropic drug in its purest form. Right out of Satan's yard, I used to want it all. Sending from dust to dawn, blame it on the fall. Adam, what have you done? After it's said and done, I was on the run. Guilty is what I was, how do I overcome? Before I pulled the plug, my intervention came right before the flood. I got an antidote, God's only son paid for my sins with his precious blood. Saved is what I am, lost is what I was. Jesus is what it is, Satan is what it was. If you wanna win, you gotta give it up.
Idolatry is trusting in who you are and what you can do, instead of in who God is and what he has done. Do you see that? Instead of trusting in all the things God says, this is all I did for you, this is who you are, it says you trusted in yourself. And instead of trusting in the God who loves you and cares for you, you trusted in your own beauty. And you went, and instead of, somebody said, when you think of idolatry, you think of worship. Instead of worshiping and giving worship and love and adoration and saying, I want to live my life to this God who's rescued me and giving me everything I need. He says, what you do is, instead of doing that, you say, no, I don't trust him and what he is, I'm going to go for something else. The word gospel means good news. And if the answer to idolatry is you got to stop being an idolater, stop whoring around and prostituting yourself for these other things, and come back and try to figure it out and make it right and get it right finally, then we're all hosed, every single one of us. But if the good news is that God has already done something else to atone for us and our adulterous hearts, that even though we're adulterous and we go after these other false gods that only destroy us in the end, God says, I sent Jesus, and he never did that. He lived for 33 years or so and only went this way. He was never a whore. He was never an adulterer. He was never unfaithful. He never did that. But then in the part I skipped, when the idols come before them and they're going to destroy you and kill you, Jesus was the one that took that for us. He was the one that got stripped of his clothes. He was the one that they came and they destroyed him in our place. And that, my friends, that is good news for unfaithful people like us.